We are late, but we are gonna get this thing started. What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there? DJ Sama, my boy Wino's in the house, and yeah, USA Breakin is in full effect. We've got so much to talk about. I am joined tonight by my partner Speedy Legs, who is the sports director of USA Breakin, and we're just going to chop it up a little bit and talk about some of the great things that are happening with USA Breakin and some of the competitions in the different cities that they'll be taking place at, and what's up for grabs and things of that nature. Let me see if I can pop Speedy onto this thing here. Speedy, you got to be a join with me here. Let's see. There he goes. We got the L, the E, the G, the S. Pata, no, pata's foot. Legs is what? Pierna? In Spanish, your legs is piernas. Is that right? I can't hear you. Speak up, man.
Piernas rápidas.
One time for piernas rápida. I thought it was rápido.
It used to be rápido. Now you can call me piernas lentas or piernas triste.
Your legs are sad? Why would your legs be sad? They're hurting, but they're not.
Yeah, man.
So, man, let me tell you.
How you doing, Mr. Sama?
I'm doing good, man. My apologies, man. I didn't think it was going to take me this long to get home. I was, I was playing racquetball with the fellas, and we just got into some serious, intense games. We're very competitive individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that we do always has to be a competition. Drinking water, lifting weights, lo que sea. There's always a competitiveness going on with us. But that's just the character, the nature. So on. Anyway, enough about me. Listen, I know that you've been doing this for a while now. You've been involved with breakdancing ever since you was a little jit. I don't want to get too much into the history, but I think it's important for people that are just getting on the USA Breakin platform to know a little bit about your background. So if you don't mind, just sharing some of your experiences and some of your accolades, that'd be great, man.
Hold on, little brother.
What did I say? USA Breakin. Yeah, I like it.
I gotta put my USA Breakin superhero hat on.
Okay, so go ahead, man, with your bad self.
What you asking me about? My contribution.
Quickly, give him a little background, quickly.
Well, I started breaking in the early '80s, late 1981, going into '82. I was introduced into the hip hop phenomenon as early as 1979, when the first rap records came out, and pretty much I was in junior high school, and we were experiencing the birth of this culture before it was even called anything. It was just the early rap records, the early dances, and from there on, that's how I met you. I met you, a few years later, out there in North Miami, when you were getting down with Flex and
Mixed Magician AD.
Yeah, and AD Rock and all those fellas, and you were part of TMC. Remember that? And then when you got into DJing, we used to go to your parties, try to sneak in your parties and stuff like that. Flex would tell me, yo, we're gonna get in. I know Felix, blah blah blah, and we show up at the door, and they had to go call you inside, and you had to come out, stick your head out the window. Oh yeah, all right, And so, I remember that, and so yeah, when I got introduced to breaking, I got introduced to breaking by Flex, when he transplanted into my neighborhood, and pretty much I got hooked on it. And coming from a martial arts background, I had the disciplinary structure to kind of self teach myself what I was watching, because Flex wasn't that good of a teacher. you know. Flex was just kind of like, "Hey, watch what I do, watch what I do," and then he wouldn't explain it. I had to kind of the great thing that Flex used to tell me is when he would practice Top Rock in his living room, with the records he was playing, he would play the record on the turntable 100 times, and he would rap over this record. But he would always tell me about catch the beat, man. You got to catch the beat. You gotta. He was always talking to me about the importance of the break beat.
Yeah,
Always. So,
yeah, he was
um,
came to that very, very mindful of the flow of the music and when the breaks come in and what stances to do and what moves to make in order to really exclamate that.
Mr. Sama, not to interrupt you, but I see little G from Venezuela out there. Oye, little G,
There's a
¿cómo
lot of
está? Mi gente allá en Venezuela, ya tú sabes, aquí
technico.
estamos,
One
aquí
time,
estamos en
Fred,
Miami, estamos,
yeah,
estamos aquí en Miami, ya tú sabes, donde está la cosa caliente.
yeah. So
Anyways, brother, so,
let's fast forward a little bit because we don't have a
yeah.
lot of time, but let's get into the reason why you wanted to take breaking out of the nightclubs and turn it into a competitional platform.
Well,
In
can I explain it both in English and Spanish, since we have some Spanish people
claro,
watching?
pa'lante. Yeah.
Ok, mi gente, yo voy a tratar de explicar lo que Felix me preguntó en inglés y en español para que ustedes entiendan un poco de la historia de los otros, y cómo empezamos a incorporar el baile en convertirlo en un deporte grande para todo el mundo, appreciate it, pretty much. So, my brother, in the mid 80s, when breaking was kind of phasing out and everybody was just trying to do something new, ¿sabes? La cosa que pasó fue en los 80 que el baile, cuando empezó a desaparecer, quedaron muy pocos de los otros que queríamos a seguir haciendo. Y entonces, to me, I was kind of like, how can I stop doing this already? I'm just learning it. I'm just getting good at it. So I kind of like didn't want to listen to what everybody else was saying, even though having good practice sessions with Ozrock would always tell me that breaking, needed to be bigger than what it was at that moment, because it was kind of like its own thing already. It was becoming like skateboarding almost. You know what I mean? So lo que pasó fue que mucha la gente empezaron de hacer el baile, estaban haciendo otras cosas, they were doing other things, and they just went a different direction. And I was just now learning the aspect of what much more can the body do besides what we were doing already. So that's when I put a little bit of my martial arts mentality into it, because it was the philosophy of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do that I incorporated into it to keep developing myself with it, and adapting to every situation, and try to explore and make it more than what it was. And because everything there back then was pretty basic, you had your windmills, your head spins, your halos, you had the Thomas Flair already. Those are all the power moves of that era, the 1990s, 1990, the windmill, and all these kind of moves. And then you had the classic style of breaking, which was top rock and footwork. And pretty much breaking started evolving for more than what that was. And that's what made it attractive to people, was the athletic component in it. But just nobody really knew how to explore that yet. You understand? Everybody kind of like todo el mundo llegó a una pared, a una parada, y entonces ahí no podían avanzar más. And we didn't have really, we didn't have community centers or constant places to train at. You know, I was always training on the street, man, in the back of a schoolyard, wherever I could find a place to train at, because I was getting kicked out of everywhere. And I can relate to some of these kids that they want a place to practice, but they just can't find a place to practice because they get kicked out because they start congregating together and they think that they're a gang or something. You see what I mean? So I wanted to go the direction where we could develop institutions to teach them, and then they could compete against each other with what they were learning. And that was the beginning for me in the mid 80s when it kind of just went dormant. So so me and Oz started going traveling, trying to find people, and then Oz went a different route, and we kind of lost him, and I was left by myself, and Flex was in another zone, and mainly everybody I was trying to find at the time, they weren't really too much interested in it. So it's kind of like until the 90s. In the 90s, I ran into a couple guys out here, my boy Maxime, Chilsky, Jamar, a couple of the guys that were from my era that believed in what I was trying to do. And then we started teaching a whole new generation of breakers, which my first student was a guy named Tro, B-Boy Tro. He lives in Spain now.
B-Boy Tro. Huh.
Yeah, he was my protege. He's the guy that the foundation that Miami was built on was the first of that generation from the early 90s, where everybody would learn from. Ground Zero, Flipside Kings, everybody. And then they had the crew, the Street Masters, which was really a crew from the 80s that were my rivals. And that's how everything started, pretty much. In a short, I'm giving it to you in a short, like really.
I know more detailed and in depth than that, but I just think that it was important for people to know. And then fast forward, you created the PROAM. It didn't start off with that name, obviously. Was it Skills One? Or
no. Well, the thing is that the whole PROAM concept before it became the PROAM, we were doing jams. And I remember because I used to see you in the clubs DJing, and I used to come and visit you where you were DJing at. And at the time, we were just doing underground hip-hop street jams, something that at the time I didn't think would interest you because you were in the commercial radio world, and you were doing a lot of nightclubs, and you were touring and doing a bunch of other different things. So,
crazy.
So it's kind of like too busy for you. But it was okay because what we were doing, lo que estábamos haciendo era, estábamos experimentando. We were experimenting con lo que estábamos haciendo because I remember in the late 80s, I picked up a newspaper article, and in the newspaper article, it said that breaking had just started in Russia. So I was kind of like, wow, this is great. But people here in America are kind of like, that's in the past. Like, si la gente te veían bailando breaking, se reían de ti. ¿Ya me entiendes? Se burlaban de ti y they would make fun of you. Oh, this guy is still in the 80s. He's still locked on what he's doing,
Yeah, but it wasn't popular anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but what made me different was the way I danced. The way I danced was more advanced than what they were used to seeing. So that kind of brought some attention. And that is what I was teaching these new kids because I was getting older. So, como yo me estaba poniendo ya, y yo sabía que ya el final mío estaba viniendo, I started sharing it more. And I was basically teaching for free everywhere I went. I wasn't even charging people to teach them. As long as they wanted to learn it, I shared it with them. And before you knew it, when I was doing, oh man, there was something I forgot to tell you, man. And it was when you asked me, okay, going back to you asked me how it becomes a sport. Well, in the 80s, in the early 80s, I saw a commercial where the New York City Breakers, which, they're the guys that pretty much exposed a lot of the power moves. and Flex was from that crew before they became the New York City Breakers. So that's how we called it. And we called the moves spin moves. We didn't call them power moves. That came later. We called them spin moves because it was spinning. You were spinning, you know? So the New York City Breakers were the first guys I saw talking about the Olympics. They wanted to challenge the U.S. Olympic team of gymnastics at that time in the mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It never happened, but they wanted to implement that. And that's where I got the idea. Like I said to myself, wow, esto puede convertirse en un deporte olímpico one day,
Yeah.
you know?
You had that
So
vision. You had that mindset that, you know, it was possible if you sat down, put together a certain amount of rules, you put together a certain amount of structure, a point system.
Yeah, that came later. That didn't come easy. That just wasn't like that.
Yeah,
You know?
right away. I'm just saying that was the
Yeah.
mindset to turn it into an Olympic. Huh?
Lo que me pasó fue que me despertó. Something woke me up. The idea was there, and it just woke me up. When it was going to happen in my life, if it ever even happened,
yeah,
it's only I didn't know that. Like I remember people telling me, "Man, nobody does that anymore. Stop that." You know, it's gone. It's never going to come back.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, look, yo lo seguí haciendo because first of all, it was a great workout for me. It was a great workout. I loved the how do I say this? The challenging aspect of it. You know what I mean? So that's what kept me pushing myself to become. I was preparing for a battle that would never come. You know, it was kind of like in those days there weren't no real b-boy competitions like professional, like what you see now. You know, it was just dance contests, and basically it was kind of like it wasn't judged by b-boys either. You know.
Yeah.
But when I saw
the point I want to make before we move on.
Yeah.
Now that breaking is an Olympic sport, obviously there's a lot of popularity and a lot of people having their eyes on what's going on in the breaking community, right?
Yeah.
And there's every day you look on the internet and social media and you see different organizations popping up. This one, that one, this other one. Some have been here for a while. Some have just came on the scene a year or two ago, so on and so forth. It's important to know who the real players are in these organizations because there has to be, you know, just like in football, when you look at the sidelines, you see there's coaches there that used to be players.
That's correct.
There's coaches there that went to school and studied the game of football. You know what I'm saying? They've got all these different backgrounds. And to me, they're qualified to be there. You know what I'm saying? They've done either they put in their time or they've done their work. You know, so and I'm not saying this to come off in a bad way or anything like that. What I'm saying is whenever you want to be a part of an organization, you got to look at the foundation. You got to look at the foundation and who's on board and what kind of credibility do they have? You know what I'm saying? What kind of history do they have with the breaking community? And what have they done to justify them even having that position? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, man. I love that. I love what you just said. I mean, you're absolutely right. And a lot of b-boys, there's b-boys in the community. There's people in the community that question that every day.
You know, where people are just trying to take advantage of the hype that's going on, and there's shit that really ain't real. You know what I mean? And that's not good. That's not good because then it waters down what this is. You know what I'm saying? It waters down what breaking is.
Well, ask yourself a question. What is real? ¿Qué es lo que es de verdad real?
You know,
hay mucha gente que quieren ahora aprovecharse del breaking.
yeah,
A lot of people that now they're going to try to do what they did in the 80s to us. They're going
yeah,
to try to see how they could benefit from it because now it's something worth paying attention to. But they weren't paying attention to breaking 20 years ago. You know, they just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, that's nice. There's some kids dancing, pretty
yeah,
much. But now that you know it's an Olympic sport, right? It's become now an Olympic concept where it's on a trial basis for Paris 2024. And if it does good in Paris, then it's going to come to America for 2028.
yeah,
But we've already been doing our own professional and amateur competitions for years.
yeah.
You know, you
That's
asked me a
the thing
question.
about
Yeah,
USA Breakin is that we have veterans on the board and we've got the new up and comers. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
We have
Absolutely.
a combination of both because I think that that's important to have a balance where you have experienced B-boys and B-girls that have done it for many years, and then you've got the high
Uh-huh. But
that are
you got to remember, all because you're a veteran, that doesn't mean you're a good teacher or a
no,
good
it does.
spokesperson.
That's why you got to be very selective and who does what in your job selections.
Sure.
Charge of what. So, with that being said, USA Breakin is a brand new organization. And, we just got put on last year. And a lot of restructuring has gone on. You know what I mean? And we're just at the tip of the iceberg to what this organization.
I came in with you. I was surprised how you became president because I basically told you, hey, look, um, they're taking a presidential position for the organization. Just apply and go through the interview with the board and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I came in as the sports director just because I understand the athletics. Yo comprendo y entiendo muy bien lo que es atlético en el baile de breaking. And
Yeah.
that because I was an athlete. I was in my time, I was I was on top of my game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I know what it is to perfect the moves, to execute them properly, to basically put on a good show with what you know how to do. Now, you asked me a question earlier about the judging and all these things that were put together. So in the early '90s, when we were doing these events, these little jams, I wanted to do more than a jam. I wanted to do an actual pro competition because there was an event happening in Europe called Battle of the Year. So Battle of the Year was already doing professional b-boy battles for groups in Europe. So I said, well, that's cool and that's really great for Europe. I would love to do that here in America. So what I did was I took something that I was experimenting with, and what I was experimenting with, I was kind of like, now is the time. So I took those same kids that I was teaching in my area, and made them battle each other, and pretty much turned them against each other. But that was for competition only. It was to develop the atmosphere of competition, So developing that aspect of competition was to bring it to another level where breaking would keep transforming. And then I wanted to bring the Europeans to Miami to experience Miami and battle the best guys I had here. And that was another thing. So when I got together with the idea, it was originally called Skills 3000. And at the time, there was a fellow named Zulu Gremlin living in Miami. Zulu Gremlin was part of the Rocksteady crew West Coast chapter, and he had moved to Miami because he was producing music. So he was producing music for like Trick Daddy and a bunch of other artists out here, DJ Raw, Zoe Pound, Mangu, all these guys that he was working with. So I always kept telling him, hey, look, man, I want to do a battle and I want you to be a part of it, And he was kind of like, yeah, but he was always busy in the studio. So it was kind of like, one day he told me, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let's make something happen. So I was already doing these other little battles, and I had the Skills 3000 concept, and he had a concept called steady building, which was artistic, like a theatrical piece, you know? So we brought in steady building and Skills 3000, and then he created the name B-Boy Masters Pro-Am. Now, the name Pro-Am is the way I identified the name was Pro America, Pro Amateur, you know? So I had my concepts, which was the Skills 3000 battle concept of B-boys and B-girls battling. I wanted to do the first B-girl battle at that time, but they basically, him and Ken Swift came up with this concept called Bonnie and Clyde, which was a male and female concept. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And hey, my auntie's watching us. Hey, auntie, how you doing, baby? Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Such a hand. Yeah. And
Anyway,
get to the competitions. Go ahead. Start wrapping it up. I want to get to the competitions.
yeah, so then we started pushing the element of competition, and then we went our separate ways later on throughout the years. He went back out to the West Coast, and he started doing like choreography and other type of things that he took on with his music and stuff. And I stayed here in Miami, and I just kept the Pro-Am movement alive because it was born in Miami, and I wanted to take it to the level of it becoming what it was destined to be, which was an athletic concept, a professional breaking competition with a sporting atmosphere. Um, the logo that you've seen, which is kind of behind me there, you see the little logo there, the red, white, and blue logo. That logo was drawn by my friend Seam Star, Max Torres, which was one legendary graffiti writer from Miami, and he was also one of my dance partners in the '90s. So me and him will always get together, and I would always tell him about my idea, my dream to make breaking like a professional sport for dance. And he came up with that logo that you see behind me there.
Yeah, which
You
is
know,
incredible. I mean, listen, man. You know that we've been battling with this breaking thing for a minute now. We did the Pro-Am last year, and yeah, coming out of COVID, and it was a great turnout. Shouts going out to Susie Stone, the hip hop kids. They were incredible. Shouts going out to all the TikTok dancers that came through, Young Homie, Rampage, obviously all the B-boys from New York City, LA, from America.
listen, there's so many people for us to really thank and appreciate. I can't. Man, I
All
really.
it all just came together. And we transitioned into now the USA Breakin non-for-profit organization platform. We're steady building on that. I'm going to get back to the Pro-Am, but real quick, what I want to say is just like Nori would say, you deserve your flowers, man, because dudes, they're so prideful that sometimes they don't take a minute to acknowledge somebody that has done so much for something. And you've done so much for the breaking community that you deserve your flowers, homie. So congratulations to you for keeping the Pro-Am alive and for pioneering this shit for as long as you have, because when nobody believed in it and nobody was breaking, you were still breaking and you were still getting cats together to do competitions.
Listen, listen, man. I'm not saying this because you're a great friend of mine and you're like my brother practically. But the thing is that you were there seeing me do this.
Yeah. I've been to those competitions. I started, from that world, and I transitioned into being a professional DJ.
How many times? How many times? How many times I didn't show up in nightclubs where you were DJing at, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden I took over the dance floor.
Yeah.
Remember
Well, I had the TV show on Telemundo, the Roof TV show. Did I not bring you on to do an exhibition? I brought you on to do an exhibition. So, throughout my DJ career, throughout my TV career, breaking has always been there in some form or fashion. It never left. And then fast forward 2 years ago, or it's been like 3 years now.
No, bro,
Let,
we're
let,
going on
me go-
4. We're
let
going
me
on 4.
4 years. Let me go full throttle with this, man, because this is where I come from, and I can own this, and I'm up for the challenge, and it's been an
Pero díselo, oye, pero díselo a la gente, bien dicho, brother.
yeah, claro,
Díselo a
man.
la gente.
Es una cosa tremendo y me encanta y nosotros lo estamos haciendo, pero heavy duty. This is like really something that we take a lot of pride in doing. Putting this schedule together. Shouts going out to Wino and the whole USA Breaking crew. Dwayne, Jet, and everybody that's a part of the board. Beta. April 9th.
Listen, man, I love our new board.
Yeah,
I know sometimes I'm not easy to deal with when I demand from them, but
yeah.
I love them, and I think we got a great team, and I just want to see how much more we're going to accomplish from here to the next 4 years.
April 9th is our coming out party, the Road to PROAM competition powered by
Yep.
USA Breakin. We have not disclosed the location, but trust me, if you live in the 305, if you live in the 954, if you live in the 561, you're going to want to be at this competition. Mark it on your calendar, April 9th in Miami, the Road to the PROAM, USA Breakin competition. Are you going to talk a little bit about the way you're going to set up the competition?
Absolutely. I've talked to Chris, to Wino, about the setup, and in during the restructuring of USA Breaking, also the judging and the rules were also altered. And what I mean by that was to improve what was already there and kind of use my own experience in what I had originally created to become a little bit of it. So podía ser mejor la competencia, más, más fácil para entender y para los jueces poder to judge the individuals correctly and accurately and have no favoritism. USA Breaking is, I'd like to let every B-boy and B-girl out there know, and just on reference, that USA Breaking is the official sporting organization for breaking in the United States. Para mi gente en español, el USA Breaking es la organización deportiva para el arte y la cultura de breaking en los Estados Unidos. I want to make that very clear, because other organizations are trying to use the same paraphrase, but we are officially that. We've been that since we took over, and we want to give every B-boy, every B-girl from a very young age a platform to compete in and to become professional athletes down the road.
Absolutely.
And we want to be able to help them develop.
Yep.
And be able to mentor them and encourage them, and one day they'll be doing their own competition. So why not be part of an organization, which, by the way, you can join for free. It's www.usabreaking.org. Vayan ahí, es gratis para ser miembro de la organización. I'm looking forward to having people
Trust me,
sign up.
we got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so that's April 9th. Now, May 21st, we are doing the Quick to Rock USA Breaking competition, and that's going to be in New York City. We can disclose the borough, right? We're going to be in the Bronx,
In the Bronx.
Okay, now talk to me about who the organizers are of that. Is that Quick Step?
Quick Step and Rockefeller are the organizers for the event in the Bronx. There might be other special guests like Speedy D, London from the New York City Breakers, and so on. So there'll be, a lot of the legends from New York City will be there, because breaking was born in New York City. It's part of hip hop culture.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Miami and New York City got this
yin and yang.
it's like it's like a love and
and,
hate marriage type of relationship,
and,
but
and
it is what it is, and I think we're gonna do really good there, and I'm looking forward to seeing some people out there. By the way, I was trying. I kind of jumped into something else when you wanted me to explain the categories. So the champions from around the U.S. will get a free flight. They'll get their flight and accommodations taken care of to Miami for the nationals, which is what we call our world finals for the United States in December, which is December 4th, 2022. And basically,
right.
it's
Yes.
it's 8 cities. It's 8 cities, 8 cities on the roster, and out of the 8 cities, we have an additional 4 cities which are wild cards, which
Yeah.
they will have an opportunity to also get an advance into competing for the finals. But the wild cards, we don't cover their travel or any of that. They got to come on their own.
Okay.
Only
Cool.
the
So,
8 cities, only the 8 cities that we're covering are the ones that we fly down the competitor,
yeah.
and we accommodate them for the competition.
Cool. Cool. So then on June 10th through the 12th, that's the Pro-Am. We're going to do it in the same location. It's going to be at the DoubleTree Hotel, but it's going to be on the convention center side. So they
Yeah.
call it.
Uh,
Hold on.
listen,
It's
the
called the MAC.
the
MAC.
yeah, the Pro-Am is in the convention center, not
That's
the conference
Yeah.
center, but the
That's what I just
convention.
said. I know.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on the convention center side, way bigger than what we had going on last year. It's a 5,000 people capacity. So we're going to be able to do a lot more than what we did last year. We're talking about more competitions, more stages, more activations, a vendor village. We're going to have some special things that we can't talk about that you're going to see at
Don't let it. Hey, don't let it slip out, man. You can't
I'm
say nothing yet.
trying not to, but it's the 25th anniversary for the Pro-Am, so we got to break out all the big guns. You know what I'm saying? We got to go all out. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, I suggest you go to www.proamexpo.com, get that ticket, because Friday is going to be amazing with a lot of panels and workshops, a great place to network. And then we're going to have an award show at night. Saturday is going to be full of prelims, competitions, finals. I mean, the best of the best are coming to the Pro-Am this year. When I tell you that, I genuinely mean that you are going to see some movers and shakers, so you do not want to miss it. Shouts to our media sponsor, iHeartRadio. They are very, very a part of what we're doing. We're incorporating them into all our promotional activation. So we're really excited about some of the things that we're going to be doing with some of the on-air personalities from down here in the 305. So that's going to be real special. And then on Sunday is our block party. And our block party is going to be a tremendous show because we've got some performance that'll make you go, that was dope. I mean, I'm excited about it. But not only that, I mean, we've got some celebrities that are coming down that are really going to get a chance to see what breaking's all about. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expose the masses to beautiful community of breaking. You know what I'm saying? And what the Pro-Am is all about, and acknowledging the people.
I wanted to say something to all the promoters out there that are working with us. It is in your best interest to come to Miami for the Pro-Am conference, June 10th through the 12th, 2022. And yeah, sure we are, man. I'm not even going to mention the comment that they put up there, but this guy doesn't understand what celebrities we're talking about.
Yeah, I know what time it is, bro. Yeah,
yeah. He doesn't know what time it is because we haven't even said who we're breaking down.
Pro-Am
Anyways,
is open to everybody, celebrities, the Joe Schmo down the street. It don't matter.
exactly.
are. It's
Exactly.
open door policy.
Exactly.
That's what we got
Yeah.
going. Okay,
Yeah.
so
We don't listen.
we don't hate.
I want to get a message across to everybody. The Pro-Am does not discriminate anybody. Anybody can come because it's a conference for the b-boy market and the b-boy scene. So all the promoters are invited to the Pro-Am, come down to the conference, learn about the history of breaking, learn about who are the best that are out there, learn about the unsung heroes that are out there every day that are not famous, do not get paid, and are doing this for the community on a regular daily basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we have stature,
Also,
radio DJs, you know what I'm saying? Club
yeah,
DJs,
yeah,
actors. When we have MCs, you know what I'm saying? That especially if they're from the hometown, come
yeah.
by, you know what I'm saying, and do a cameo appearance. That's love, man, and that's what we're all about. It's all
No,
about.
listen, and I'm not gonna get mad at the person that made that comment a few minutes ago because when somebody comes and makes a comment about something, maybe they don't know the deep context of it, and maybe they
Well,
don't
it's
know our history.
our job to
So,
educate. You know what I'm saying, and spit out the
exactly,
they know
exactly. Yeah,
down
yeah.
whenever we do these competitions. Everyone's welcome. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, wait a minute, wait a minute. Yeah, man, we got Big Wino coming out. You damn
the
right he is.
discrimination it is open to everybody. Anyway, all right, let me keep. I don't want to lose my train of thought here. So then I'm just gonna skip it real quick. We got a Seattle competition going on June 19th. It's called the Zulu 18th anniversary, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then on June 25th, we're gonna be in Atlanta, rock the floor. Haven't been to Atlanta in ages, man. I'm looking forward to going out there.
It's going to be Rock the Floor with Honey Rockwell. We're going to be rocking with Honey Rockwell.
Very cool, very cool. Looking forward to that. LA is on the calendar for July 15th.
LA is the B-Boy Summit.
Yeah.
With Asia One. So Asia's also part of the family. So we're going to be out there rocking with Asia. And then we got Big Wino in Portland too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's happening August 26th, Skillfest 6.
Yeah,
right?
Skillfest. That's right.
Okay, cool. And then September 10th, it's the Four Corners King.
Yep.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about that one, Grand Junction.
Hobie?
Yeah. Have you been to that event?
No, that's still like in the works with Wino. So, but
and then
we got Hawaii. We got Hawaii in October also.
October 29th, I see the reunion there, and then on December 4th, we're back in the MIA for the USA Breaking National Championships. That's where it all goes down.
I got my boy, the Miami Villain, watching. my boy Jacob. What's up, Tells? Anyways, Felix, man, this is looking great. I'm excited for the energy and everything that you're bringing to the organization of USA Breakin.
We just want to open this up, and we want to let everyone know that USA Breakin is a force to be reckoned with. We're doing this sports organization. The competitions are going to look different. They're not going to look like your regular or average competition that you go to. So we encourage people to come out, support, come out and be a part.
Listen, I'm not gonna put down anybody that does competitions out there. I just think that their competitions are a little bit outdated. You know, they need to catch up with the times. They need to wake up. A lot of these competitions, they have the same guys competing all over again. They don't give opportunities to the new upcoming guys or girls that are out there. There are girls out there that are really good, and they have too many set biased rules, and it just looks like a tennis match. Breaking is not a tennis match.
Well, this
breaking is breaking.
We're bringing something new to the table. We're bringing a whole new format of competitions. Yeah. That way, people can make, if they're on their skill set and they're on their high game, they can make some money coming and joining these competitions. And on top of that, you know, we've got some other things that we're going to be doing at these competitions that are going to benefit the athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we're about benefiting the athlete, both male and female.
Yeah.
The thing is that some of them don't like to be called athletes. They like to be called B-boy and B-girls. But the thing is that they are athletes because, you know, to take your body to the extreme perfection of executing incredible movement to dance and to rhythm is beyond normal to me, man. That's really an incredible attribute to the physical aspect and fitness aspect of the dance.
Yeah.
You know, so the thing is that I like that tech. I like that. That's right. You're an athlete. Good man. So the thing is that um,
I mean,
I
but at a high level, you should consider yourself an athlete, and you should do it.
I don't listen. I didn't care. I didn't care. Look, man, Felix. I didn't care what. I didn't care what
body. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
look at you. Look at all the health issues you're going through because of how much you banged up your knees, your head, your back. I mean, you're a hot mess. Seriously though, you're a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to talk down.
They used to call. Listen, you can ask my aunt. You can ask my aunt that's watching here right now. They used to call me the evil Knievel of breaking, bro. It's you know, it's like crazy the stuff I used to do, man. But the thing is that
the B-boys are smarter now. They're taking care of their bodies a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they're rehab, and they're doing the necessary therapy in order to keep their bodies in tune and the recovery level a lot faster. At least the smart ones are, according to some of the B girls and the B boys that I've spoken to. So that's
listen. Funny that you bring that up, but going back to USA Breakin, is that USA Breakin, we have different divisions. We have we have medical, to help them, how to become better and take care of their bodies, eat better, do the right things. We have all these things that we have professionals in our organization assisting with, and we want to give proper direction. The thing is that we don't like getting into political battles with other people that are lying about us or telling the community wrong information about us, because we made it clear to the B-boy and B-girl community what we are and what we stand for. And I honestly believe that we're going to go down a better direction. No matter how many challenges come our way, we are not going to stop our focus on the dance and the art form, the culture of breaking, the art form, the athletic, and the lifestyle of it. So the thing is, we embody all of that. We embody all of that, which is, part of hip hop culture. We are part of hip hop culture. Other people that have tried to do breaking events and stuff, they try to kind of like switch it up a bit and are not culturally connected to it. And that's why I told you earlier, breaking is not a tennis match. It's not a soccer match. It's not ballerina, dance. It's breaking, and it comes from hip hop, and it's combined with many other, concepts of dance that make up what it is, and it's its own art form. It's its own concept.
Absolutely.
So regardless of Olympic status or not, we love that breaking has become an Olympic sport. We love the direction that it's going to become an Olympic sport, and basically, I don't have any problems against that. The thing is that we are breakers for breakers. We're not a dance organization for breakers. We are breakers for breakers, if you understand what I mean by that. Breakers for breakers.
Yeah.
And I think B-boys and B-girls should be delegating the future and direction of breaking, not ballet dancers. or tap dancers or salsa dancers. You get what I'm saying? It's breaking. Listen, skateboarding is skateboarding, and skateboarding is not delegated by ice skating or by roller skating. It's delegated by skateboarding.
Yeah.
You feel
And
me?
learn about USA Breakin. Go up on the website, become a member,
Yeah, yeah,
www.usabreakin.org, right?
yeah,
And you're going to see a lot of good information there. Not only that,
yeah.
also post up all the competitions that are coming up for this year. If you live in those cities, come on out, support, see what we got going on. Trust me, you will not be sorry. USA Breakin is definitely an organization that's for the b-boy community. That's one of the things I just want to get out there so that everybody,
Really,
uh,
Felix, man, I'm glad that you had me on tonight.
yeah,
I've been watching all the other guests, but I guess the board had brought to the attention uh, they had brought to my attention that they wanted to have interviews with the board members first, so everybody in the community gets familiar with the board members. I
yeah,
believe before me, there's already been Wino, there's been Beta.
yeah.
Uh, there's you, of course, the president, myself, the sport director, and there'll be other board members that'll come on to be interviewed. Also, we want to let some of the top b-boy athletes and b-girls out there that we will interview you on USA Breakin. If you want to address certain things to the community and the public, shoot us an email, let us know, and we'll put you on and give you an interview so you can promote yourself and your community. That's
All
another
right.
thing that we're doing, is that we're allowing people from the community to come up and share and talk about their schools, their experiences, what they're doing in the b-boy community on a daily basis. This is not just a show about prima donna b-boy athletes or b-girl athletes. This is about real people in the community. And I want people in the community to know that we're here for them, and they can shoot us an email whenever they want. And if they want to be interviewed on the show, we can set that up where we can bring certain concerns, as long as they're positive and motivating to the community.
Yeah, speaking of being positive, let me just read a couple of comments here. Shouts going out to girl Power Flow. She joined uh, on the web, I guess, a little while ago. Thank you so much for that. Miami Villain, you already shouted him out. Uh, Damba, Dambaya Guido. Sorry, man, if I banged up your name, but shouts to going to you too, brother. Technico, yes, big up to you, man. Who else? Who else? Mr. Praza.
Yeah,
What's
we had little G on here too a little while ago. Little G from
going
Venezuela.
46? What's
Yeah.
up? Obviously, Big Wino, always coming through, smashing it as always. Colombia, something, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't see it, but hello, Colombia. Colombia, we love Colombia. Medellin, Barranquilla, oh, Bogota.
Gravidad was on. B-Boy Gravidad from Dominican Republic.
Yes, Santo Domingo, Plátano Majao. You know how we do it. All right, man, go ahead and wrap this bad boy up, man. But, the Pro-Am on the way, June 10th through the 12th, going to be at the Miami Airport Convention Center. Go to proamexpo.com to join, to sign up. And then please be involved.
Centroamerica in the house. Centroamerica is in the house. We
I
got our reunion island is in the house. My man Stan. Dímelo,
Kepler
Stan.
Backspin is in the
Stan.
house. Gabo
What?
checking in. Jen, I think it's B00 on the check-in as well.
That's my cousin Jen. That's my cousin Jen.
That cousin? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know your cousin. You act like I know her. I don't know her. Hi, Jen. What's happening? That's good when you got family members supporting you, man. That's a beautiful thing.
yeah. Also, Kid Hendricks in the house. What's up, Kid Hendricks? Peace
Yeah.
out, brother.
Big up. All right, man.
Listen,
Let's wrap this up.
Hey, brother, man. You have yourself a good night, man.
Man, I'm tired.
To everybody out there, stay tuned to our USA Breakin IG Lives every Thursday night at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
On next Thursday, we will have another guest on. We're not going to tell you yet who it is. It'll be a surprise. You will see the flyer out online. And looking forward for you guys to stop by the website. Again, remember, is www.usabreakin.org. Register for free, become a member, support Breakin in your communities, in your local community, and just, keep the art form alive. You know what I'm saying?
And
Um,
keep building, keep strong, and support the community. There's a lot of good things that are going to be happening within Breaking now, and we're glad to be a part of it. All right,
yes,
Speedy.
sir. Hey, Mr. President, God bless, man. Take care. Have a great night, man.
All right, man.
All
Take
right.
care.
Peace, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.